If you want to know what a messenger RNA vaccine is, how it works, if it's not effective, if the production was rushed, if not enough studies have been performed, or if it's going to modify your DNA, stay, I have answers for you. I made this video because I am concerned by all the fake news on social media, some of which my family have shared. A lot of people have claimed to be experts in the topic, and by looking at videos, it's worrying what they say due to the level of misinformation. Therefore, I am making this video with verified information with data published in scientific journals that are peer-reviewed. But you might ask, who am I to say this? I am a microbiologist and Master in Science, Ernesto Felix Diaz Parga. I graduated from the National School of Biological Sciences in Mexico and obtained my Master in Molecular Medicine from the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom. Currently, I am finishing a PhD in Medicine in the same university. I have done research in different institutes and currently in the Royal Hallamshire Hospital in Sheffield. I have worked in clinical laboratories accreditation and currently in a molecular diagnostic laboratory for COVID. Now that you know my career, let's talk about the messenger RNA vaccines, also known as mRNA vaccines. As its name says, it is a vaccine that contains the genetic material mRNA and it is inside of a lipid capsule. But how it works, how it is made, and the most important, is this vaccine going to convert me into a genetic modified organism? Well, to understand and answer all your doubts, we need a little bit of science. The cell is the functional and structural unit of all organisms and it contains the genome, which it is all the genetic information that dictates how a person will look, their skin color, eye color, but also it says which proteins the cell should create to work properly. The genome is DNA and it is found in the nuclei of the cell. The DNA is the molecule that gives orders in the cell. It instructs which proteins must be synthesized. But in order to give orders, the DNA has to send a message that can be recognized out of the nuclei. This process is known as transcription, and it is the conversion of DNA to mRNA. The mRNA travels outside the nuclei, so the message can be read. The messenger RNA is recognized by the ribosomes, which will convert it to proteins. This process is known as translation. Once the mRNA has been read, it is destroyed and it is no longer useful. In virus, specifically SARS-CoV-2, which is the causing agent of COVID, it doesn't have DNA, instead RNA, and it needs human cells to make copies of itself. Once inside of the cell, the viral RNA is transformed to mRNA to produce all the viral components, and these are assembled by the cellular machinery. After the virus has infected you, your body delays in response, and the speed the virus takes to make copies is faster than your immune system. This is the reason we need vaccines, so when you are infected, our immune system will be already trained to defeat the virus. Now let's go back to the COVID vaccine. Scientists have found the coronavirus genetic material, and they determined that the protein that is involved in the binding to the human cells is the spike protein. This protein confers that characteristic crown shape. Since this protein is located on the surface of the virus, it is the one that is recognized easily by your immune system. So how does the vaccine work and how it is made? Different to other vaccines, where the whole virus is used or other type of virus are genetically modified. Researchers have transformed the genetic material of SARS-CoV-2 into mRNA and put it inside of a capsule made out of lipids. When the vaccine enters to your body, the capsule containing the mRNA fuses to your cells and the mRNA is released. Then it is recognized by the ribosomes and the spike protein is synthesized. After that, the mRNA doesn't work anymore because it is destroyed by our cells. The spike protein migrates to the cell surface and it is recognized by the immune system cells. These cells will create antibodies against the spike protein and will have the memory to produce more antibodies in future infections. Currently, two companies are producing vaccines based in the mRNA technology. They are Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna. I'll briefly explain the process of a clinical study for vaccines. The studies are divided in preclinical phase, which it includes laboratory experiments and tests in animals, and the phases 1, 2, and 3 in humans, where the human of participants increases on each one, respectively. The participants are divided into two groups. The first group is injected with a placebo, which it is a solution without the vaccine, and the second group is injected with the actual vaccine. After the injection, Several parameters are recorded to see the safety and efficacy of the vaccine, as well if any participant got COVID after the 2 doses. Now I am going to give you a summary of the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna results. The reference of the journals are at the end of the video. In these graphs, we observed on the left the total number of participants, in the middle the number of participants for each group, and on the right the people that got COVID after the 2 doses of either the placebo or the vaccine. Pfizer had 43,458 participants older than 16 years old in total. 21,728 participants got the placebo, and 21,720 got the vaccine. From the group that got the placebo, 169 got COVID, while from the vaccinated group, only 9 people got infected. This means a reduction of 95% of COVID cases. Moderna had a total of 30,420 participants older than 18 years old. The total number were divided by half for each group. From the placebo group, 185 people got COVID, while from the vaccinated group, 11 got COVID, which it means a reduction of 94.1%. In the cases where participants got COVID, the infection was during 2 months after 2 doses were applied. As any vaccine, there are secondary reactions. Both vaccines reported these reactions: fever, headache, and fatigue, which disappeared after 1 to 3 days, and the most affected population were younger than 65 years old. Finally, during the study of both companies, no deaths were reported related to the vaccine. Thank you for staying until the end. I hope this video was useful and that now you have more information to decide whether you want or not the vaccine. Take care.